Hi everyone, it's Helen here, your Unit Coordinator. We're going to go through our Flip Collaborate for Assignment 1B folio. And just before we do, I just wanted to reiterate how important it is to look at the feedback that you receive for Assignment 1A, and you can use all of that feedback for this assignment, which is fabulous. So make sure you have read through that assignment. If you have any questions regarding your feedback, please direct them to your ELA. They're the best people to answer those questions. If you want to just something clarified, then they can definitely answer those questions for you. So we're going to move on fairly quickly so that we can get through all the information that we need to. So we're going to go in and have a look at our assignment details. So let's go into those now, and here they are. So our assignment 1B folio is very similar, like I said, to assignment 1A. It's worth 30%, it's a 1500 word limit, and it's due on Monday the 9th of September. So we are looking at reading in this folio. So we've looked at writing in our first one, but we're going to be looking at reading in this folio. So what you will need to do is you'll need to listen to Riley and Mia's reading sample. There's a text alternate there if you wanted to look at that as well. And you're going to use those samples to decide on an area of need for Riley and Mia. So if you're going to look at Riley's area of need, you need to either choose phonological awareness or syntactical development. And for Mia, you need to choose either fluency development or reading comprehension development. So it's really important that you choose from the list above. Don't go off and do something that you think is their area of need when it's not, from that selected list up there. So just make sure that you are selecting from that list up there. So what you need to do is, once you have chosen your area of need, and I'm going to give you a bit of a big hint here with Riley, phonological awareness, you're going to actually find a lot of information in regards to that. Syntactical development, there is some information, but I'm going to give you a hint and say phonological awareness, you're going to have so much information, you're not going to know which one to choose because there is a lot of information. So let's go and have a look in our e-text in regards to that. And if we go into chapter 10, in our e-text, you will find there is so much information in regards to phonological awareness here. Let's have a look. So you've got a lot of information here in your e-text in regards to phonological awareness. There's so many different categories here that you can have a look at. When you're looking at the sample, make sure that you are very specific. So you can see there's lots of sort of sub areas here. So if you have chosen phonological development, then make sure that you're very specific and say that you're going to be looking at teaching sight words. So state what the general need is, and then state what your sub need is and subcategory that you're going to be looking at in regards to that. So you might be going to be teaching sight words, you might be going to do letter sound relationship. So just make sure you are very specific in regards to that. That's really important. Now, if you decide to do syntactical development, which is absolutely fine, there is some information in your e-text in regards to that, and you will find that on page 188. So there's some information in regards to that, in regards to some of the syntactical development in early learning reading development. So you'll have to kind of read a little bit more in depth in regards to that, just to make sure that you are going to be getting the right information. Now, I've also put on the Padlet some information in regards to syntactical it's gone away. Sorry, it's come back. Syntactical development, because you will have to do some of your own research in regards to that. So I'm just going to find you where that is. That's under your learning general information, and you've got ICTs and extensions, and I have put some information in here in regards to, here it is. sorry, I had to just find it, the syntactical development. So it's in the areas of need. So there's some great websites there that I've popped in regards to that. So if you do choose that one, then look in your e-text under page 188, or have a look at these websites because there's some great information in regards to that. So let's just go back to our assignment details. So that's Riley. So if you've chosen, you can choose either those ones, and that's giving you a bit of a heads up as to where that information is. Now, if we pop over to Mia, obviously we need to choose a different area of need because different areas of needs there are listed. So we can choose either fluency development or reading comprehension development. So if you choose fluency development, and again, if we go and have a look in our e-text, there is a lot of information in regards to fluency development. So let's get our e-text, let's get our e-text working. That would be really good. And if you go into chapter 14 in your e-text, there is a lot of information in regards to that. Just going to get my e-text to do the right thing for me. It's slow, but let's have a look. And we're getting a guided tour, which is lovely. But we want chapter 14 in regards to our fluency development. Here it is, developing reading fluency. Oh, goodness me. Go. There we are. So if you have a look at, like I said, your reading development fluency, there's a lot of information in regards to reading fluency. And again, it's really important to be specific in regards to what element of reading fluency you have chosen. So it's a bit like your area of need of phonological development. You need to be very specific in regards to fluency development. So that is one area that you can have a look at. The other area is reading comprehension development. So again, if you go back to your e-text and we have another search in regards to that, and we have a look in chapter 13, it's now going to work for me, which is fabulous, reading comprehension. And there's again a lot of information in regards to reading comprehension. So again, you need to be specific in regards to which part of reading comprehension. What are you actually going to be focusing on? Is it your vocab? Are you looking at comprehending particular parts of the text? Just be really specific in regards to that. Now, remember, they are Year 1 students, so just ensure that you are choosing a strategy that is certainly related to what you can hear and or see in these samples above here. Okay, that's really important. So once you've done that, you need to choose a teaching strategy that has been covered in the unit learning material and explain how that specific teaching strategy will support and extend each child's area of need in reading development. So if we have a look in here in regards to our teaching strategies, and we've got reading aloud to children, shared reading, guided reading, language experience approach, buddy reading, independent reading, reciprocal reading, and literature circles. So again, they're all in your Padlet, and these are hopefully strategies that you're familiar with because we've looked at them in our discussion boards in our reading. So you need to choose one of those for each of your students. So make sure that when you're choosing the strategy that it aligns with the area of need that you have chosen. That's really important. Don't just choose one that you think might align. Make sure that you are showing that it does align. So once you've done that, then you need to propose an example of a learning experience that is aligned to the teaching strategy that will support and extend the child's reading development. And this should include a description of the teaching methods required for the learning experience. And if we're talking about our teaching methods, there's a lot of information in our Padlet in regards to teaching methods, and these again shouldn't be unfamiliar to you. We've got things like demonstrating, modelling, explaining, lots of teaching methods there. And again, just make sure that they link back, that everything is linking back to your area of need up here. That's really important. And once you have done that, you need to give an explanation of how the learning experience will support the development of reading skills. So again, that's just showing me how you can use a learning experience to develop the area of need that you have chosen. So remember, just like assignment 1A, it's not a big huge learning experience that you're going to get a template for and show me all these wonderful ideas. No need for that. I'm sure you have some fantastic ideas. It's just an overview of a learning experience that you can show in regards to reading. Really important that you do that. And once you have done that, then we need to have a look at how we're going to use ICT to enhance the learning experience. Okay, so that's really important to link that in. And if you look in page 343, there's lots of information in regards to ICT and how we can use these to teach reading fluency and help with a reading lesson. Now, I'm sure there's a lot of reading apps out there, little games that you could use to help enhance your lesson. Remember, we're not doing a separate lesson using the ICT. It's more using that to enhance your lesson. So make sure you give me a fantastic lesson and then give me a great little ICT app or game or something, an interactive whiteboard, whatever you can do to just enhance your lesson. And once you've done that, we need to make sure that we are linking our learning experience to our Australian curriculum. And again, I've chosen year 1 here because this is my year 1s that I'm looking at. And here's my content descriptors. Now remember, you can look at your own curriculum for your state. That is perfectly fine. But for now, I'm going to just look at the Australian curriculum. So if I've chosen, for an example, phonological awareness development, here's some great content descriptors that I can use and I can fit in to my learning experience. Okay, now remember, we're not looking for heaps and heaps of these. 1, 2, 3 max would be how many I would be looking at. Make sure for this one that you're not just looking under the language heading, because there are some ones in literature and in literacy that will also be able to fit in with some of those areas of need. So just make sure that you have a good look, because you've got some ones certainly that will link there with your reading learning experiences and the areas of needs that you have chosen. So just remember that you need to do this for each child, and remember, it's only 1,000 words and it's evenly split between each child. So that's a really tight word limit. So that's only 500 words that you need to use to cover all of those elements. But I'm hoping that you're becoming a little bit more succinct in doing that, because you've had a bit of a practice in assignment 1A, so that's hopefully helped you. Remember that you need to be referencing correctly, and we would be expecting you to be using your e-text and your curriculum documents and any of those other documents that you may websites have used in the Padlet, or you may do some extra research in the library as well. So once you've done all of that, then you need to go into section 2, which is 500 words. And that's when you need to compare the teaching strategies that you've used in the previous section. So this is really important that you use different teaching strategies, because you cannot compare the same ones. And remember, when you're comparing them, to again link back, always linking back and telling me what the teaching strategies are. And remember, when we're comparing, we're looking at the similarities and we're looking at the differences. That's really important, okay? And that's number 2 there. Discuss any benefits and limitations you may have noticed about the 2 teaching strategies, okay? So what in those teaching strategies have you noticed that some good things, some not so good things, and then you are comparing them and contrasting them there. And that's 500 words, so that's actually not a lot of words either. Make sure that you have cited everything with your APA, take any feedback that your ELA has given you in regards to that, and just take note of the format of your folio there as well, which is really important. You can use subheadings. It's not a problem to do that with this folio. It just helps to break it up a little bit, so that's not a problem at all to do that. I just wanted to quickly go in and have a look at our assignment criteria as well. And before I do that, no, it's going to come up here. Here it is, our assignment criteria. Oh, there it is. So our assignment criteria is really very similar to the first criteria that we used in our first assignment. So for assessment criteria 1, identification and explanation of a relevant teaching strategy that will support and extend Riley and Mia's area of need in reading development. Okay, this is worth 30%. So just ensure that you are covering those that element and look at your past descriptor there. Number 2, the development and evaluation of a range of learning experience and resources, including ICT, to support the reading development of Riley and Mia. Now, we're not looking necessarily for a range, but we certainly are looking for 2 different learning experiences for these 2 different students. That's really important. And making sure that you're doing the comparison of the literacy programs, i.e. the 2 teaching strategies and the resources designed to assess children's communication skills. And then element number 4 is the use of relevant conventions of English, spelling, punctuation, grammar and syntax. So hopefully you can take some feedback on in regards to that for assignment, from assignment 1A. And the same with element 5 there, with the correct use of APA referencing. Hopefully, again, you can take on the feedback that you received in assignment 1A. There's a lot of information and I probably rushed through it a little bit, but I just wanted to get that out there so that you've got a good indication in regards to what you need to be doing in regards to this assignment. I wanted to also let you know that, and I'm going to just go right over to this PowerPoint. You see about our formatting. Not this, our plagiarism is really important to note, but that will be all on the portal. Remember about extensions. If you are going to ask for an extension, that you'll need to request it, and I'll need to have medical evidence. That's really important. I need that emailed to me. And remember, we don't just have extensions for holidays and things like that. We need to be organised because we're teachers. So we just need to make sure that we're on top of things, and consolidation weeks and breaks in studies are great opportunities to do that. Here's people who can help. So you've got your student advisors, your student coaches and your ELAs. So make sure that you're utilising them as much as possible. You can also be using your Turnitin and Studiosity, may be able to help a little bit with this one. Now I'm going to really let you know in regards to late penalties, because we've sort of been a little bit lenient with the first one, but from this one on you will receive late penalties in regards to late assignments. So just take note of this slide because I think it's really important. There's a lot of marks there that you could be losing just for late assessments or assignments. Please contact your ELA if you're having difficulties. We are here to help. We want to help you, but remember, we also need you to be organised as well and be committed to getting your assignments in on time, because that's really important. As we are wanting you to be committed to academic integrity, and just remember that you are citing the correct sources. You're not taking information from other places and not referencing them. We're again going to be really a bit more strict with this second assignment. So just make sure that you are certainly referencing and your Turnitin score is fairly low when you submit your assignment. So that's it for me. Thank you for listening. I wish you all the very best with this assignment. I'm sure you'll do really well because you've got so much information at hand with the Padlet and the Collaborate session, which will run soon. And you're also going to have got your ELAs that you can ask. So please utilise all of those resources that are out there for you. And I wish you all the best. Bye.